about this.
Her face is very expensive. All the skincare, all the makeup, her nails are done every 3 weeks.
I actually don't even spend that much. Yeah, we've always been at odds.
We've always been at odds.
I don't understand. At the beginning of our relationship, I was the saver.
Yeah, you were the saver.
You were the spender.
Yeah.
You were just spending.
Hey Deku fam!
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We're back with a new video. We're back with a new series, and we're talking money, and relationships. Because did you know that money is the #1 reason couples are getting divorced?
Yeah, like obviously we get married for love, we get married for companionship, we get married for friendship, we get married for union, but yet there are other variables at play that actually can come and railroad your relationship. This is not a business institution, but yet money is seen to be one of the greatest reasons why couples are getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And in this video, we're going to shed light on what those reasons are. What are the common pitfalls in regards to money that leads people into a divorce?
Yeah, because we just want to bring that from our subconscious mind into our conscious mind. I know we love to separate money from relationships a lot of the time. It's like we don't want to talk about relationships, but the reality is the #1 reason why people are getting divorced.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Let's understand the reasons. Let's actually identify where they show up in our relationship.
And although you said some people are subconscious to be in the conscious mind, some people are just not aware.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and create that awareness as to why money is the #1 reason and what those variables are in relation to money that leads people out of their relationship.
Let's get into the video. Okay, so one reason that money is causing conflict in marriage and leading to divorce is because the couple have a different money language. Yes, we've spoken about love languages, but there's actually money languages as well.
There's ways that we've been brought up, values that we have that actually determines how we want to save our money, spend our money, manage our money, etc. And that could be at odds.
Yeah, we've always been at odds.
We've always been at odds.
I don't understand. At the beginning of our relationship, I was the saver.
Yeah, you were the saver.
You were the spender. You were just spending. I don't know if it's because you're trying to attract me or what. And then all of a sudden now in marriage,
the roles have reversed.
I'm married to a different guy.
Yeah, and I'm married to a different woman because now I'm looking at Anna like, what are you doing? Anna is the kind of person that sees money now as an opportunity to live life. She believes, and she does believe, she believes that obviously she works hard and therefore she should enjoy the fruits of her labor. She also likes hosting people and having dinner parties. She loves going for lunches. She loves, look at her face.
Wow, you're really
so beautiful.
quick to talk about this.
Her face is very expensive. All the skincare, all the makeup, her nails are done every 3 weeks.
I actually don't even spend that much, you know.
Every 3 weeks.
You're actually being extra.
Yeah.
But should we talk about you at the beginning of our relationship?
No, let's talk about the present
Okay, how
time.
about you now, Mr. Penny Pincher? Like, I don't understand.
Right.
You working hard to just suffer.
No, but at the end of the day, I see money because now that I've got a child, I'm thinking about his future, and we've got one on the way. I'm thinking about his or her future. So obviously, I'm trying to sow seeds for the things that they're going to be doing, whether that be their education, marriage, house, cars. I'm thinking about all those things. I'm like, do we need this right now? Probably not.
Yeah, but to keep the joy alive, you also like the holidays. You need to rest. We work really hard most days. So actually, we do need to slow down, and it makes us a better couple when we do that.
Yeah. So over the journey of our relationship, we've been able to have conversations about money, being able to understand our different values, and in the way that we try and manage our money, we try and incorporate each other's values into it. Yeah. So if I was left to my own devices right now, I probably wouldn't spend any money. I'll just try and save as much as possible. And Anna would probably stick herself in a hole. Yeah. But now we have a nice balance where we're able to save, and we're also able to enjoy the present time and then go on holidays, etc.
Yeah, but the key is not to look down at the other person for their money language. Yeah. And that's the challenge that we had at the beginning of our relationship, where we'd really think that my way is the right way. And actually, we've come to a position now where there's a bit of compromise. Yeah. And we need to incorporate both of our money languages into the way that we manage our finances. And we'll talk about that in the next video in terms of how we specifically manage our finances. But that is a big cause of conflict because you can actually feel very restricted. It's like, I've hard earned this money and now this guy is trying to tell me how to spend my money.
I have earned the money and I want to save it, and then yet this one is just, opening the barrel and letting it flow out. So yeah, it is a conflict, and we definitely do understand why it can be a real bone of contention in a relationship, and why people be like, you know what? let me just manage my money alone without you.
Yeah. Another reason money can lead to divorce in relationships is because you have different financial goals.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we love the scripture in Amos 3:3 that basically says, how can two walk together if they don't agree? Like, money is one of those things that could really be a bone of contention if you both have different financial goals and how you want to utilize the money within your relationship.
Yep.
So for us, we really believe in having an ongoing conversation. We talk about money literally all the time. But more on a structured basis. Maybe like annually, we'll talk about what we're doing, what our goals is for the year. On a quarterly basis, we'll assess how we're going. And on a month to month, we look at what's our income and what's our outgoings, and what are we actually allocating our money to.
Yeah. I don't get why in relationships we try to keep money on the side and not think about it. I guess it's something that's really precious to us, so we don't want to bring it into the relationship. But we believe that a relationship has to operate like a business to a certain extent. Because money is the foundation of how you guys are going to structure your lives.
Yeah, your lifestyle.
You have to think about what your lifestyle will look like in 10 years, what your goals and ambitions are. You want to think generationally about your future legacy. And money plays a huge part in all of those conversations. And if you think about a business, they have goals, they have objectives, they have a plan around what they're going to do with their money.
Yeah.
So for us, it's really important to have the conversation, make the plan, set the short-term goals, set the long-term goals, and actually reflect on those goals, adjust those goals based on circumstances, and keep the conversation going.
Definitely. And sometimes there might be a misalignment where we find ourselves arguing about, whether that goal is still relevant for us. Yeah. And we just use that as an opportunity just to reflect, have a conversation, and we might reprioritize or even change the goal completely.
And the thing with us is we are never aligned when we start the conversation.
Never.
Like when we come on camera, when we have the conversations with people externally, it's like we're one accord. But that has taken so many conversations behind the scenes that we can get onto the same page.
We've done so many conversations and so many videos about personality differences, cultural differences, etc. And it just shows in marriage that you need to have that ongoing conversation all the time. Because yes, you're two separate individuals, but the goal is for you to actually bring your path and align so that you can continue and agree, and then obviously not hit that divorce button.
Yep, let's do this, babe. We're gonna try and get to the end, aren't we?
Definitely.
In Jesus' name. Another reason couples are divorcing because of money is due to debt accumulation. This might be the biggest one.
It is, really. Like, sometimes people's spending habits and living beyond their means allows them to accrue debt into a relationship. And then when you're trying to think about your future, you've now got to be paying off something from the past. And it's kind of something, a weight that kind of holds you down. And I think it's especially important not to hide it. You have to be fully transparent with that debt, and then navigate it through. And when we came into our relationship, I had a few debt situations.
Mate, you were
I had my credit cards, my student overdraft. What else did I have?
You were taking it all out, and I think it was beautiful that you were honest about it up front.
So I just paid everything off within like a year or so of graduating university, which was great. And then we could move forward with our life. But this was in the early stages of us dating even. So then we started thinking about, okay, now debt's all paid off. Let's think about our wedding. Let's think about our marriage and blah, blah, blah.
And when we're thinking about debt, when we actually choose to take on debt for investment purposes or for whatever that the reason may be, we have to have the conversation together. It's something that we both agree upon, and we say, yep, this is the right decision for us as a household, and then we take on that debt. Because there's nothing worse than someone doing that behind the scenes or making that decision alone, not knowing that it's going to impact the other person because there's less money going into the pot.
Because one person could say, but I'm going to take the debt off in my name, but either way, it impacts the other individual, because the more debt I take on, the less I'm able to contribute into the joint pot or whatever, because I'm paying off and servicing this debt. And if I don't, that's also going to have an impact on me for my credit score, and will limit if I want to buy, a house or take credit on something else or whatever. So it's important for us to be able to be joint and have conversations on the things that we're going to purchase and accumulate debt in our relationship.
Another another reason couples are divorcing is because of financial infidelity.
Yeah. And financial infidelity is basically where the person is not being truthful about the money that they're receiving and the money that they're spending.
Yeah.
So it's just basically just not being honest and transparent, etc. in regards to their money. Because some people might actually be having a gambling addiction. Yeah, they're getting their money, but then the way that they're getting their money is from gambling, and then their other partner does not value gambling. Or maybe some people have an OnlyFans account and then they're getting money in that way. There's all different ways. Or got a sugar daddy and haven't disclosed it to their spouse.
No, but those are the big things. I think sometimes it's the little things like, oh, I've got a slight pay rise, but actually I'm still going to contribute the exact same amount I did before.
Oh, yeah, true.
Or I'm not going to tell my partner that I got a pay rise or a promotion because, you know, I want to keep this money for myself and utilize it on me. And, you know, that type of mindset is very much a single mindset. You're now in a relationship, you're now in a marriage, and, you know, what's yours is theirs and what's theirs is yours. So you have
not everyone believes that, you know.
I know.
Some people really be holding on to their single life.
Yeah.
But when you're in a relationship where you can see like one person is maybe not as financially astute to the other, and then they're complaining about money, and another person is feeling like he's got money and is not contributing to the finances, you can feel a sense of like are we really aligned?
Yeah.
And then you really peace out.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons we chose to have like full visibility of our finances is so that we can both be living on the same lifestyle all the times. So when one's down, we're both down.
Yeah.
When one's up, we're all up. So I'm screaming for Gabes to get promotions, get more money, because it's going to benefit me and the household. And, you know, when times are hard, it's like, okay, we'll suffer together, because that's what oneness is truly about.
Exactly.
But yeah, financial infidelity really just enables...
Because it just removes the whole, like, we're one team. Like, we want to be seen to be one team. We want to be able to, like Anna said, have the same lifestyle, manage our finances together, rather than being in a position where it's like, yeah, you're thriving over there while I'm here in the corner, like, suffering.
And the disrespect of trust as well with financial infidelity, because omission is still lying. So missing out information, like where your income's coming from, is a betrayal of truth.
Yeah.
And that can cause like detrimental impacts to your relationship.
Yeah. Because you kind of ask the question, what else are they hiding? So it kind of starts from there, and then you just open a can of worms, and then your mind just starts racing. You can no longer trust the person, and then unfortunately that could lead to you splitting apart.
Yeah, and it is really hard. I can imagine like when you started a lie, and then you just go down a rabbit hole and it gets bigger and bigger, but you honestly have to trust that you're with the right person. You being open and honest with them is going to be hard at first, but it's so beneficial for the long run. Like, they're not going to leave you, God willing, but they are going to, you know, struggle to trust you, and that's going to be built up over time. But it's just worth putting everything on the table and having open and honest conversations about money. Another way that money causes issues in relationships and may lead to divorce is when one person is controlling the finances.
Yeah, this is when the person feels like the way that they manage their value and the way that their perspective of money is the best way.
Yeah.
So you can be somewhat controlling, and sometimes these starts off really subtle. The person could be like, oh yeah, I'll manage the finances, I'll make sure that everything is in order, but then over time you get controlling. Rather than, you know, saying, oh yeah, I need to spend money on this, or I would like to spend money on that, you feel like you have to be asking permission to spend your own money and stuff like that, and that could be very toxic in a relationship.
Yeah. And I remember when we first got married, like, I used to manage the finances because I was the one that
managed the finances.
I definitely managed the finances. You can't remember. In the early stages, because my guy over here was Mr. Spender, not spreadsheets, but I had some sort of system. All in your mind. Yeah, I had a system.
Yeah.
But because this guy was such a spender, I was like, you know what? I'm managing the finances, and I took control, and I had things, you know, really under a tight whip. And then now we've got to a place where I don't even know how much we pay for our nursery fees. I don't even know how much is coming in. I don't think I even look at our bank accounts like that.
You don't.
Yeah.
You just spend it.
Yeah, and I just think like that could extrapolate into, because I don't know what's going on with the finances, he just takes it to the next level where he's just completely controlling about the finances and really restrictive about our finances. starts making decisions without me about the finances.
Yeah.
And, that's where it could lead to when it comes to control.
Yeah, exactly.
But that plan, hope is...
Yeah, just because someone is managing the finances, they're just basically taking responsibility and stewarding it.
Yeah.
And just making sure that you hold each other accountable to the things that you said. It's not a position for you to say, no, you can't buy that, you can't buy this, you can't buy that. The conversations that we have, I'll be like, okay, babe, this is where we are.
Yeah.
If you buy this, that means that we can't do this. So is that still a good idea? Like, we have that kind of conversation. So sometimes it may look like I'm saying no, but I'm not really trying to take control of the situation.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing to light, like, I'm looking at this a little bit more closely and you might not. So therefore, this is the things that I'm considering. Yeah. What do you think? Do you still want to go ahead with that purchase?
And controlling the finances can give you a sense of power. Like, you can really feel like, especially when your income's going into a joint bank account like ours is, you can really feel like, I've got a lot
We have to distinguish between managing the finances and controlling. Controlling is somewhat different. That's manipulative. Managing and just trying to be a good steward of your household finances.
Yeah. But I can see how it could just go into
being
controlling
because
you feel like you've got all this money and all the power to do what you please with it.
Yeah.
And I think that can cause serious issues within the relationship. And another way that we think is really big on how money can cause issues within marriages and may lead to divorce is through cultural differences.
Yeah, the lack of understanding of the baggage the person brings into a relationship. It's not really even baggage, it's just the way that their life is set up and the responsibilities that they have. For example, supporting family members.
Yeah.
You might still be supporting your parents financially and your younger siblings financially. And that could be a bone of contention. Because when you get married, some people just believe, look, we're together, forget about everyone else. This is now our money. We don't need to be contributing over there.
Yeah.
So forget them.
And that can be a real cultural thing because, in some cultures, giving back to the family or paying them back or supporting them is a real thing. And you see it as more of a cultural norm in some cultures, and then in others it's like, no, you've got your inheritance that's going to come in the future, or your parents are sort of self-funded and they're okay, so you don't need to support them. You see that across different cultures. So if you're marrying someone from a different culture, it's really important to ask the question, like, okay, what's your view of money? Like, what percentage of your income actually goes back to the family? And how are you supporting them? How do you envisage supporting them? We had all of those conversations up front, and thank
luckily,
God,
we were on the same page. Like, we both believe in supporting our family financially. So sometimes we send money to our moms if they need it, etc. And that's absolutely okay, and we're very comfortable with that. Sometimes when we go to certain places and we have siblings, we sometimes will pay for it, and we're quite comfortable doing that. So we believe in actually being quite generous with our finances and to be able to support, because we're also thinking about our previous generation. They've come in the UK, they've built a future for us and helped set us up, and it's almost like we're still helping and supporting them where we can. And then the next generation is coming, and obviously it's our children, so we look after them. And we see ourselves as bridging the gap between the previous generation and the next generation. And hopefully Jerry won't have to support us because we are able to support ourselves, etc.
So these conversations have to be had, because I know a lot of couples go in blind, and then there's a lot of arguments about how each person is spending their money.
And you're having resentment towards them. You're having resentment towards their families. When this is just the way their family setup is. So you either have to deal with it or don't. And some people unfortunately choose not to. But you have to have that conversation, like Anna said, with your eyes wide open going into the relationship, so you know what you're getting yourself into. And it's never too late, even if you are in the marriage now, like, have these conversations. Money, again, is not something that should be kept to the side. It's something that should be in your relationship. It's a core part of it. It's the number one reason why couples are getting a divorce. So if you don't talk about it, then boy, I don't know, you might be in trouble. So that's why we always have the conversation. So that is it. That is a few reasons as to why people get a divorce. We have a blog post where this is actually, we speak to this in a lot more detail and put some research, etc. So check out our blog post if you want more detail around this subject. But hope you enjoyed it.
Next video, we're deep diving into our finances. Well, not deep diving into the numbers, but deep diving into how we manage our finances. It's going to get a lot more personal, and hopefully, with the spreadsheets and everything that we'll share, we can all go on the journey of managing our finances as one. So we'll see you in that next video. Thank you, fam. Bye.
Peace.